Alright, personal stuff on the personal channel, y'all. You don't like it when I talk money, but I've been telling you for weeks that these weeds, those specific plants that surround my tent that I put myself down in, those were all white with spider webs when I first got here. So spiders are going to be a real thing. I had one crawling around on my face the other night. I had one up here in the rafters of my tent last night, and the winter is over. So if you ever liked anything I ever said on here, and you don't want to hit me up on Cash App with a thank you or a line that just says something like tent or move or new stuff, because I got so much stuff to replace, but I already talked about that as Shaggy. Come find the Shaggy Filalitea channel and help me grow that, because I just pledged this morning, and I can keep this pledge that if I can get 500 people to sub to that and then also to my Patreon, that I won't ever monetize. If I can make a living on Patreon, I will never run ads on my Shaggy Filalitea stuff. If I can make any amount of money at Rob from donations, I will never, ever run an ad on anything related to Robert Longshore. And that's not something that I've ever said, because it's not something that people will listen to or take seriously. It's easy to say that at this stage in my life. But I got into a little argument with one of the women on the bus, and she was actually the last person I talked to, and so I haven't been on the bus in about 10 days, and so they're probably wondering if maybe I'm mad at her. Because she's like, well, you need to get that in front of a publisher, and I was like, no. No. Corporate money is not touching Rob Longshore. Corporate money is not compromising me. I will not compromise myself for a fucking algorithm, for a fucking CEO, for somebody who's never been poor, for somebody who's never been hungry, ever. There's a band that you're unfamiliar with called Hurt that I just loved when I was a young man. Now, Jay Lauren had a heroin problem, and he wrote about it a lot, but it ultimately won. But there's a line in one of their songs, and maybe I'll make a short dedicated to it on the Shaggy Filalitea channel, so there's even more meta context between these two, where he's talking about the record execs and how much he hates being in the music industry, because there are these record executives with their hookers that blow them, while all I want is food. And boy, oh boy, do I think about that when young men are rude to me in front of their girlfriends to get clout. And so anyway, I got to make about 250, maybe $300. I estimated $200. I got about a $200 month coming up, and that's not including cigarettes and weed. So it might actually be time that I have to go into Vincent Needs a New Home mode and focus on only those basic necessities, and actually put myself back at the mercy of free food. And so this is an act of desperation almost. I'm getting to the point of desperation where I'm back to saying, hey, I need money for this. I need money. I need help. And it can come in $3 increments. Just tell me that it's for the tent, and it'll be for the tent. And I pledge that to you. It's easy for me to pledge now, but I'm not an addict. So it's easy for me to hold that pledge. All right, that $3 is for that, and I'll put it over here so I can't spend it. And that's easy for me. I was married, y'all. She didn't leave because I didn't have money. She left because I told her to stop spending at Wendy's.